Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'd like to talk about how to get your SP back. Now, this is an SP that you obviously know because you're getting them back. But you can use this for somebody that you don't know as well, or that you know them, but you were never in a relationship with them. Okay, it's all the same. Everything is the same. It doesn't matter whether you're manifesting a job, whether you're manifesting money, whether you're manifesting, and I hate that word manifest because that's not what you're doing. But anyway, you're actually selecting. But we use that because it's synonymous with what we're doing. So it doesn't matter what your desire is. All right. So first off, you need to realize just who you are. You are source and there is no other. There's just you. There's nobody. Everybody else that's out there are a version of that person that is reflecting back to you who you are being right now. That's it. So that in itself should explain to you why sometimes you get hot and cold from your SP. Because at one moment, you're being the version of the person that would be dating them. Okay? And then in a second version of who you are would be that version of the person that is not dating them. And so this is why you get that hot and cold sometimes, okay? So everything is about you. Everybody has this whole thing about Neville Goddard and everyone is yourself pushed out and stuff. And I can't tell you how many people always quote that wrong. It is not everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is yourself pushed out, who you are identifying as. That's what that means. Okay? You are not your thoughts. So let's just get that out there. So you need to realize that it is only you. You are the operant power. You are the one, you are the cause. Your mind and what you're thinking and what you're speaking is the cause, and then the effect that you see coming back to you is a reflection of all those people, places, things, and circumstances in your world. Okay? That's the effect. So if your SP is coming back to you as being loving and doting on you and so on and so forth, then that is because of the cause of what you were and are thinking. What you were and are claiming to be. You follow me so far? Okay? That's what that is. So it's important to realize, first of all, who you are. Second of all, you only have the now moment. There is no past and there is no future. Okay? You all know how I stand on that and what I tell you. You can't go back to the past and you can't go to the future. There's only now. Okay? So in every now moment, who are you being? Who are you thinking from in relation to that SP? Okay? Are you thinking from the person that, well, yeah, in 3 months, this and this has to happen for us to get together? well, then you're not thinking as the person that's in that relationship right now. you're putting out there that there are certain aspects that have to happen first before this relationship can move on. How do I know that? Because I did that. That's exactly what I did. I thought that this, and this, and this had to happen first. And boy, was I wrong. And glad that I was wrong. In the Bible, there are verses in the Bible that says, my ways are not your ways. We don't know how things are going to come about. We have no idea how they're going to work. And so the faster we can understand that, and the faster we finally decide that, okay, I'm going to live from the end or in the end, then the better it is for us. Because if we continue to try to live, I don't know why this person is parked in the middle of the freaking road and there's nobody in the car. Lovely. The faster we realize that we are living, or the faster that we move to the point of living in the end and stay there, then generally the faster your manifestation will come to you. Okay? It's really that simple. The more you are being who would be in that relationship, the faster that manifestation comes to you. Now, there's going to be some coaches in there that they love to play words with semantics, and one is a really good coach, but he loves to play with, it's semantics. It's just how you're saying it. I get that all I have to do is be that person. Okay, I get that. But, and it's funny because they, even as they go to start to explain that, they always come around to my point of view. It's falls in your self-concept. Who are you identifying as being at that moment? And you move from moment to moment. You're not. Here's the thing that we all fall into, okay? And we've all done it. All of us have done it. We get this idea that, okay, I'm gonna be. Somebody tells us that we're gonna be this. We have to be this person. We have to be that person, or whatever. Okay, so then we play that game that we're gonna be this person or we're gonna be that person. This version of us that's in that relationship. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, but the problem is that we're there for 15 or 20 minutes, and then something in the 3D comes up, and then tells us that no, this is what's happening, or it shows us that, and we take that as gospel, like that's real. Okay, now here's the quandary that we fall into. Yes, it's real. Anything that happens has happened and will always be happening. The only thing is that you don't have to live in that version. And that's where the key is. Live in the end. Live in your desired version of you, and everything must reflect that back to you. That goes for your SP, that goes for their friends, their family. I mean, everything has to reflect that back to you. So here was let me give you an example, okay? And this just happened to one of my assistants, and she lives in the UK, and she needed I believe it was a tree that needed to come down. There was a tree in her, they call them gardens, we call them backyards or front yards or whatever. And there was a tree that needed to come down, and she got a couple of quotes, and they were just too high. And then she said, no, I know that there's a lower quote out there for me. And she said those very words, that I know that there's a lower quote out there for me. And so she left it alone. She made that statement to herself, I believe. I don't know if she made it to somebody else outwardly, but it doesn't have to be outwardly, because the moment she made that statement, she was that person that had that lower quote. The next day, somebody came knocking at her door and gave her that lower quote. She didn't mess around with trying to figure out how it was going to happen. She just knew it was already hers. It already belonged to her. She was that person that had that lower quote. Okay? And then she left it alone. She didn't go trying to search through YouTube to go find out what the SP was doing, or what other quotes were out there. She made the statement, claimed that it was hers, and then left it alone. That's how this happens. She didn't let the 3D from the multiple quotes that she got that were just too high. She didn't let any of those affect the fact that she was gonna get it for a lower quote. And that's how this happens. Okay? But what most of us do, and I've done it, is we see something that comes up in the 3D. All right? And then we decide that, you know what, this is true because it's facing me right here in my face. Okay? And unfortunately, for those of us that have an SP that we've known before, we're trying to get a relationship back from them, a lot of times we have to deal with them on a regular basis. It happened with me. Okay? And God Almighty is that hard to do. Because in the one instance, they're showing you this in the 3D, right in your face. Okay? I don't want you, you're a loser, you're this, you're that, so on and so forth, you know? And then you're standing there trying to say, okay, this isn't the version that I want. This is the version that I'm choosing. That's what's happening in your head. But you have to deal with what's going on right now. And that's hard. If you are a person who is in no contact at all, count your lucky stars. Because that is so much easier to deal with than it is to actually deal with and see this person that doesn't want anything to do with you. And you're thinking, and I kid you not, it happened to me. How am I ever going to change this person's mind? That's the problem. You think that you need to do something to change that person's mind. And you could not be more wrong. Because you can't change the 3D. You need to change who you are, the version of you, from the version of you that doesn't have the SP to the version of you that does have the SP. Then, and only then, will the 3D change. Folks, thanks for listening, and remember, you've got this.